You write a document to Cosmos DB. 3 milliseconds later, it's confirmed. But where did it actually go? Not to a file. Not to a table. It went into a data structure, a carefully designed tree that can handle millions of reads and writes per second. Today, we're going to open the storage engine and see exactly what happens to your data on disk. A storage engine is the layer between your query and the disk. When you write a document, the storage engine decides how to organize it on disk so it can be found fast later. When you read, it decides which pages to load, which index to use, and how to reconstruct your data. Every database has one. MySQL uses InnoDB. Postgres uses its own heap and index layout. Cosmos DB uses something completely different. But before we get there, let's start with the basics. Before any data structure gets updated, the write goes to a log. This is called the write-ahead log, or WAL. It's a simple append-only file. Every write is appended to the end. No seeking. No random I/O. Just append. Why? Because if the database crashes mid-write, the data structure on disk might be in a corrupted, half-updated state. But the WAL is safe because appends are atomic. When the database restarts, it replays the WAL and recovers. The WAL is your safety net. It turns what if we crash from a disaster into a non-event. Every serious database uses a WAL. Cosmos DB does too. Write to the log first. Then update the tree. The B tree is the most widely used data structure in databases. It's been around since 1970. Think of it as a sorted tree where each node can have many children, not just two like a binary tree. The root node has pointers to child nodes. Each child covers a range of keys. You follow the pointers down until you reach a leaf. Reads are O of log n. Even with a billion records, you only need 4 or 5 hops from root to leaf. Writes are also O of log n. You find the right leaf, update it in place, and you're done. When a node gets too full, it splits into 2 nodes, and the parent gets a new pointer. B trees are balanced, predictable, and battle-tested. MySQL, InnoDB, Postgres, SQL Server, they all use B trees. But B trees have a problem. When you update a node in place, you need to lock it. If 2 threads try to write to the same node at the same time, one has to wait. When a node splits, you need to lock the parent too, to insert the new pointer. In the worst case, splits cascade up the tree, and you're locking multiple levels. On a single-core machine, this is fine. But on a modern 64-core server? Those locks become a bottleneck. Threads are waiting in line, burning CPU cycles doing nothing. The more cores you add, the worse it gets. This is the scalability wall for traditional B trees. LSM trees take the opposite approach. Instead of updating data in place, they never modify existing data on disk. Writes go to an in-memory buffer called the memtable. When the memtable fills up, it's flushed to disk as a sorted file called an SSDable. Over time, you accumulate many SSDables on disk. Reads need to check the memtable plus all the SSDables to find the latest value. To keep reads fast, background compaction merges smaller SSDables into larger ones, removing old versions. LSM trees use Bloom filters, probabilistic data structures that can tell you this key is definitely not here without reading the file. This skips unnecessary disk reads. Writes are extremely fast because they're just sequential appends. Cassandra, RocksDB, LevelDB, Google Bigtable, they all use LSM trees. But LSM trees have their own problem. Write amplification. The same data gets written multiple times. Once to the memtable, once when flushed to an SSDable, and then again, and again, every time compaction merges files. A single write might actually touch the disk 10 to 30 times across its lifetime. Read amplification is also a concern. Without compaction, a read might need to check a dozen SSDables. Compaction itself uses CPU and I/O, competing with your actual queries. So B trees lock too much. LSM trees rewrite too much. Neither is perfect for planet scale. Enter the BW tree. Invented by Microsoft Research in 2013. It's a B tree at heart, same balanced tree structure, same O of log n lookups. But with one radical change: no locks. No latches. Completely lock-free. How? 3 key innovations. First, a mapping table. Instead of nodes pointing directly to other nodes, every node has a page ID. The mapping table translates page IDs to physical memory addresses. This extra layer of indirection means you can move a page in memory without updating every pointer to it. You just update one entry in the mapping table. Second innovation: delta records. When you update a page, you don't modify it in place. Instead, you create a small delta record that says add this key or delete this key. You prepend the delta to the page's delta chain. The delta points to the old page. To read the page, you walk the chain, applying deltas in order. This means no thread ever modifies an existing page. Multiple threads can read and write simultaneously without locks. But the delta chain can get long. When it does, the system consolidates. It creates a fresh page with all deltas applied, then atomically swaps the mapping table entry to point to the new page. One atomic swap. No locks. Third innovation: compare and swap, or CAS. This is the atomic CPU instruction that makes it all work. When a thread wants to install a delta or swap a page, it does a CAS on the mapping table entry. CAS says, if the current value is what I expect, replace it with my new value. Otherwise, fail. If 2 threads race to update the same entry, one succeeds and the other retries. No locking. No blocking. No deadlocks. Just retry on conflict. On a modern 64-core server, this is massively faster than locking. Each core can make progress independently. This is why the BW tree scales linearly with core count. But wait, if old pages and deltas are never modified, who cleans them up? The BW tree uses epoch-based garbage collection. The system maintains a global epoch counter. Each thread registers in the current epoch when it starts an operation. When a page is replaced, the old version is added to a garbage list tagged with the current epoch. Once all threads have moved past that epoch, the old page can be safely freed. No thread can possibly be reading it anymore. This is safe. No use after free. No dangling pointers. The old data stays alive exactly as long as it needs to. Let's put them side by side. B-trees, fast reads, fast writes, but locks kill multi-threaded performance. LSM trees, blazing fast writes, but read amplification and compaction overhead. BW trees, fast reads, fast writes, and lock-free concurrency. B-trees update in place. LSM trees append and compact. BW trees use deltas and CAS. For a system like Cosmos DB that needs millions of operations per second across dozens of cores, the BW tree wins. Cosmos DB chose the BW tree for 3 reasons. First, lock-free means it scales linearly with cores. More cores, more throughput. No contention. Second, the BW tree sits on top of a storage layer called Llama, a log-structured storage manager that handles flushing pages to SSD and manages its own log for crash recovery. Third, unlike LSM trees, the BW tree doesn't need expensive background compaction that steals your I/O. Delta chains are consolidated in place, on demand, without blocking readers. The result? Predictable latency, efficient I/O, and the ability to handle planet-scale throughput. Here's what you need to remember. Every database is just a clever data structure sitting on top of a log. B-trees are the reliable workhorse. LSM trees trade reads for writes. And the BW tree takes the best of both worlds and removes the locks. The next time you write a document to Cosmos DB, remember, it didn't just go into a database. It went through a write-ahead log, into a lock-free BW tree, confirmed by a CAS instruction, and its old versions will be cleaned up by epoch-based garbage collection. Storage engines are invisible. But they are the reason your database is fast. In the next video, we'll zoom out and look at partitioning. How does Cosmos DB decide which machine stores your data? Hash ranges, partition splits, and the routing layer that finds your document in under 5 milliseconds.